Right now in the studio, we've got the one and only Tony Junior, aka this is gonna be the hairiest episode we've done so far. How are you, Tony?
I'm good. Yeah, to be honest, I had some free time in the last 2 weeks, or not like free time, but not like traveling that much. So I'm feeling pretty good, productive in the studio, working. So that makes me happy and chill.
Yeah, free time. That's good for you, or is that bad? for you?
No, but like free time means studio time. When I have to work in the studio and think, oh, tomorrow I have to catch a plane or something like that, that makes me like nervous. So I cannot like chill. If I know like the next 3 days I won't be going anywhere, I'm chill and I can work in the studio. So that's good. That's
Nervous. I've seen you wrecking stages, raging. Man, I've seen you fighting off bouncers
oh yeah,
by the dozens as well. You were nervous. How does that look? How does a nervous you look?
dude. Like every show, I'm nervous. Like a lot of people ask me that. It doesn't matter if it's for 100 people or 10,000 people. I'm always nervous. And the moment I hit the stage, I start my intro or my first song, it kind of disappears and it changes into like focus.
Yeah.
And like I'm gonna eat the crowd alive or something. Yeah, you know what I mean. And yeah, it disappears. But I'm always nervous, and sometimes it makes me like almost have to puke or something. But I'm always nervous. Yeah, I don't know why.
Wow.
I cannot eat. Like if I have a show on let's say Friday 9 o'clock, from 5 o'clock I cannot eat anymore. I don't eat. I call it like party mode. I don't eat.
You don't eat?
No.
What happens if you do?
I'm not hungry at all. Even though I didn't eat at all, I'm like, I don't want to eat.
And after the show?
I eat frikandellen, kroketten, everything. Yeah, then I get
wow.
super hungry.
All right, for the people that are not from the Netherlands right now, a frikandelle, as you so eloquently stated, yeah, that's a Dutch snack, and it's basically made out of, yeah, what is it made of?
It's like the trash of all the animals that are slaughtered. Yeah. It's like...
Actually, I read up on it. It's not as bad as hot dogs, though. You ever seen a hot dog being made?
Yeah, it's like this machine that makes...
Yeah, it scrapes the last bits of the bones of the cow.
Yeah,
and,
but that's with the kroketten frikandelle as well. I don't even care. I don't even think about it. It tastes good.
But, well, you are sort of like the DJ variety of the sort of like muscled skinny rock star. How do you combine fast food with that?
I have this thing that I don't get fat easily. That like if I eat a lot of like how do you say it? I would say Schiphol.
Airport food.
Airport food. And on the road I eat bad food. I kind of gain a little bit of weight, but I don't gain a lot of weight. And I try to work out 2 times a week. And that's all I do. And I stay freaking skinny. So
all right.
I have no clue.
Well, I've been checking you online, as I think a lot of people do. You got a lot of subscribers on YouTube. You got a podcast, a vlog, which you do in Dutch right now.
Yeah.
You recently made that switch.
It's kind of hard because with my followers on YouTube, I have a lot of Dutch people. And I started my first 3 vlogs in English. But the thing is, if I want to vlog, and for an example, I'm backstage somewhere in Asia or America, I don't care, and I'm drunk and I have something to tell to the people at that moment, and I have to think. My English is okay, I guess, and
yeah, it's fine.
But when you're drunk and in the moment and you have to look for words in your brain, it makes it less personal. And that's why I stayed to my own language, because I can express myself way better. But then I thought, yeah, after like 180 vlogs, I thought, okay, but I do the subtitles in, but a lot of people were asking like, talk English, and I wanted to focus on like the international market as well. But then I switched to English, and I had like so much fucking hate, and I was like, holy shit. And I thought like, all right, after a week, they all forget, and they will be fine with it. But when you have like, let's say 10 to 25,000 people watching you every day, they bond with you. You kind of get or be their friend. They look
it's
every
sort of
day.
your extended digital family.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. So it kind of hurts when they all turn their back on you and say like, I don't want to watch you anymore if you talk English. It's not personal, and it kind of hurt me in a way. So I thought, fuck it, I'm gonna. Is the mic okay?
Yeah.
Is mine okay? Yeah. So I kind of thought I'm gonna switch back to Dutch, and everyone loved it, and the people even from other countries, they said we don't mind you talking Dutch and watch it with subtitles, you know. So I'm. But now recently I switched to not everyday vlogging. It was kind of an experience, a test. My tour manager Brian, and best friend, we kind of did it together. 200 vlogs every day. But now I realized like
that is a lot of editing, man.
Yeah, and that's Brian. I was shooting and making the content.
Does he also do the subtitles?
Sometimes, but I had like a friend who was doing it, but like most of the subtitles Brian did as well. So
oh wow.
Yeah, but he became super fast with it. Like if you have like 25 vlogs, he knows what's gonna happen and shit like that. But the problem, I switched from daily to 1 or twice a week. I'm like figuring out what I want is. I'm a DJ, I make music, I have a lot of things to do, and when you know it, when you're in the studio, you wake up, you go into the studio, you order some food, and that's your whole day. It's kind of boring to watch, and you cannot show what you're doing in the studio because you cannot like spoil the music you're working on. And then at the end of the day, I was thinking, oh shit, I have to make a cool vlog for this day.
That kind of puts you in some sort of conundrum that on one hand you want to show people what the real you is all about,
yeah,
and on the other hand you can't show it because then you'll spoil all the goodies.
Yeah, and that was kind of stressful, like, oh shit, I have to make cool content for today, and it kind of forced me to do like things I normally wouldn't do, and it would take me out of my studio, and I didn't want that. So it kind of became a fight in my brain, and I was like, when I started vlogging, I wanted to show people how I think vloggers should vlog. Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of vloggers in Holland that I think are super fucking boring and only about showing brands and like, yo, buy this, and they take $100.
Yeah, we're absolutely not about branding in any way.
I have no clue if this is sponsored or anything. But no, but there's so much shit.
Dancefair sponsored it.
No, but I hated that kind of content for like the younger generation. So I wanted to show the people how I think I should vlog. But after those 250 vlogs, I was making more content just to make content for the next day. And I didn't want it. And I wanted to be a vlogger who shows some cool stuff about my life. So that's why I decided to go to like 2 times a week. And,
yeah, I don't think that is necessarily a bad thing, because I've known you for how long? We go sort of like kind of
5, 7, I don't know.
Yeah, so we go.
No, I remember the first time I saw you, it was on
shit.
Bloomingdale. It was one of my first shows. I was just signed to an agency. It was called Nobody's Dope.
Yeah.
And you were like headlining, and I played like in the, how do you say it, like one of the early slots.
Yeah.
And I was super fucking drunk, and I saw you for the first
Me as
time.
well, most likely.
No, you just came like at this venue, and you were like pretty chill. You were not drunk, and I gave you a hug. It was like, hey man, how are you? You were super nice. And Kenny G was there, and I think someone else. But that was the first time we met. I remember that.
No, because I know you for like 5 years, and as far as I know you, there is pretty much only one Tony. Mm-hmm. What you see is what you get. So I think it makes perfect sense that you went back to vlogging only once or twice a week. Because I've seen your vlogs, and the only thing I was wondering is how strong is your right arm? Because I've seen you carrying around that camera literally everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know, but everyone.
No shame, just while you're eating in during a kebab store or whatever, on a scooter.
Yeah. That's pretty hard and pretty dangerous, because I'm like riding the Vespa, and I was making like, I call it sphere shots. How do you say that in English? Content to look. B-roll. Yeah. And I was like holding it like with the wheel and turn it back and hold it above my head, and it's pretty hard, but like people think I'm walking 3 hours a day like this. That's not the...
You do realize you kind of messed up some things for half of this world.
Why?
Well, I am pretty sure, and I've read the reviews online, you are a guy, and we're not supposed to be able to multitask.
As in?
And I saw you driving, filming, not killing yourself, trying to make contact.
Yeah.
Content as well. Wow.
Yeah.
Man, don't do that, man. You make us all look bad.
You have to. The hardest part is what 99% of all the vloggers do is like, hello, I'm here at the dance fair, and they just say what they're doing. And I fucking hate that kind of vlogging. I do it as well sometimes because you have to, but I always try to talk more interesting, like talk around it. And yeah, it's hard to explain right now, but
make a bit of a story out of it.
Yeah, like I wanna tell a story about it.
Would it be strange if I would compare it to your music? You have like the break and the drop, but you don't stop with the drop. Start with the drop immediately. It's like you got to build up to it.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, but it's like not. I'm here at dance fair, but I will start like 3 years ago or 6 years ago when I was a young producer. I went to dance fair, and then I kind of intro it in to like, and now I'm here doing an interview. That's way more interesting to listen and watch than I'm here at dance fair. So that's the hard part.
I've seen and vlogs are mostly pretty well produced, but oh whoa, Instagram stories. That's a whole different. I've seen, you know,
mine or
no, not from you, but from other so-called internet celebrities that are just literally watching their phone, and there's like 10,000 people watching.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, that's I think we both set the level pretty high in you know, in regard to the content we want.
Yeah, definitely, and that's why I went back to 2 times a week or maybe once a week and just share cool content.
All right, so now you're here at Dance Fair. You're interviewing here. Actually, this is not the kind of interview.
Yeah, that's what I want. Like, it's not about talking about me all the time, right? We're gonna.
No, this could just as well be, you know, on the couch with you. Because well, not on the couch at your place, because I would, you know, first get in, you know, the UV lights, the NCIS kit, and make sure I'm not getting pregnant. Because you are going at it, my friend.
With what? With what?
Well, not with hamsters.
You talk about girls and everything.
Yeah, I don't think you're soloing on the couch.
No. To be honest, the last months I'm chill, and
chill is, you know, I think your chill might not be everybody else's chill.
I mean, like, how I'm gonna explain this? I had a a heavy life with that kind of stuff and with girls, and now I'm like more chill.
I think you are one of those guys that is literally built for this kind of stuff, because now I've seen you in a couple of terrible situations, and I never saw anybody staying cool while being strangled by a bouncer.
That was heavy.
Oh man, and I was there being sort of the only representative of the agency trying to film something. A bouncer was trying to break my phone. You know what? A lot of people don't know what this was about. I think you talked about it on the vlog.
Number 7. Brian, can you help me? Which vlog was it? Riot on Stage, it was called.
Yeah. Well, the short version was basically you just wanted to join a very good audience at a good festival in some festivity, a little bouncing around, and then the bouncers quite aggressively told you not to.
Yeah, but they normally didn't mind, but the little problem was that it was an all ages festival, and I didn't know. And the only thing I knew was that there was a little kid standing in the crowd with his dad, and at the beginning of the show, I pulled this kid with his dad, like, come on the stage and have fun. And his dad and the kid, they had the greatest time ever. And like after an hour, I played 90 minutes. They went back. But the problem was that I was creating a mosh pit. And that's kind of normal, fucking everywhere.
Hey, we all done it 1,000 times.
Yeah, and I was like, I will jump into that mosh pit, because when people see you jump into the mosh pit and you give the good example, they go,
a party.
Yeah, and there was a little misunderstanding with that situation that kind of went out of hand. Which vlog is it? What? Oh wait, you know, I'm gonna look it up for the people that watching.
There's a website online. It's called Google, and
no, it's. If you just, I'll look it up real quick. It was called Riot on Stage. Riot stage.
Well, either way,
It was kind of my first viral vlog. Beer showers and riot on stage. It's vlog number 5.
vlog number 5.
Yeah, that's 20,000. That was in that time pretty good. But yeah, that kind of went out of hand. And but to be honest, now like the boss of that security agency and everything, they're like all friends. They all know me, and with all the festivals I've seen them afterwards, we're all good, and they all remember, and they know I'm a good kid, and they all respect me because we worked it out pretty well. But it was pretty intense.
I think that is sort of the part of your genius. It's your charm. You're one of those guys that can relentlessly fuck something up and then just make it right.
Why did I fuck it up, or was I?
No,
I was standing kind of in my.
No, I was there.
Yeah,
I watched the whole thing happen. Trust me, what you did, I probably did worse at some places. So you didn't fuck it up, but you are the kind of guy that sometimes, seeks the edge. But what makes it brilliant is that you're also the guy that always knows how to come back from that, how to make it right, how to make it cool.
But it's pretty funny that you talk about that. People always have this image of me because I kind of look in a way with my tattoos, with my gold and fucking everything, and the way how I expressed myself. That I do drugs, that I'm like not nice. With girls, I'm doing heavy stuff, of course, but I'm just being super honest and with everything I do and did in my life. And it's funny because when I see like other DJs backstage at a festival somewhere and they don't know me, they only know my Instagram or something, and I walk to them and I'm like, hey man, how are you doing? I can see in their eyes like, oh my God, there's this guy and he's probably not nice. And I'm like, I say something in Dutch like, hey, pik, who is it? And I look them in the eyes and they're good. And suddenly, oh, he's not that bad. We start talking and everything is fine. And I always see this, I come from this underdog position that people think I'm super heavy or intense, or it's not that bad.
Yeah, I know exactly, because I've been doing the whole underdog routine for a while now, for ages actually. For me, actually, when I stopped being the underdog, that kind of fucked me up.
But in what way did you stop being the underdog?
Well, in a sense that I always was sort of with my back against the wall. I had to fight for my own system, own agency, own label, get everything going for myself because, I have a very peculiar way of seeing things. And at one point, it started working, and that put me into a whole different thing. I was used to people just looking down at me, and then all of a sudden people started looking up to me, and that kind of fucked me up actually. How is that for you? Like when people come up to you and they really look up to you?
You mean like meeting people like a fan wise?
Well, it's not only the fan; it's the overall perception of. It could be a label A&R, it could be a club owner, it could be a fan. Doesn't matter.
I don't know. I don't want to talk about other guys or something, but if you get more famous or bigger or stand above other people, or you get known for what you do, people start acting differently in every way. Like in labels, agencies, they can make money from you, and fans of you get fans. And I think it's super weird, or not weird, but I find it uncomfortable that I'm meeting people all over the world or in Holland that are like having tattoos from me, like autographs on their freaking arm, and I'm like,
that's a milestone for an artist.
That's
when
insane,
you first
right?
time see somebody tattoo your logo on their body.
I think there are around
amazing.
25 people in the world that have a tattoo of my logo, or like 3 have my autograph. And I always say like, yo, chill. I'm just fucking normal. Yeah, and it sounds super corny, but I try to make them like super comfortable in like 10 seconds and bring them to the same level as I am. Like, or how do you say it? Like, well, we're the same. We're fucking the same. We're not different. The only thing that changes is how people, you are not famous. People make you famous. And that's the big difference.
I've been trying to tell that to a lot of young producers that they ask me, how is it to be famous in some sort of way? But just like you said, I don't think fame changes you, because if fame changes you, you're on the wrong path. But
Yeah,
it's more like the rest of the world starts acting real
yeah.
funny.
And of course, when you're an artist, you kind of sometimes have to act like an artist, you know? Like if you enter the club, I always like to be backstage. I'm not gonna stand in the club for an hour, or you know what I mean? It's sometimes you have to do some things and be cool when you walk on the stage, but that's like more of an image than change your personality or how you see yourself. And I get very irritated if people think they are better because they have like some records out or do shows. I'm not like that. I'm always this kid from Utrecht who plays the drums and works hard to be.
Yeah, that's what I like
Sorry.
about you. What you see is what you get, and that's a very rare thing in an artist, and especially because you've been. Well, I think it no longer serves a purpose for you to name the countries you have been. I think you can better start naming the ones you haven't been.
Dude, Japan. I've never been to fucking Japan. I want to go to Japan.
Japan.
Yeah.
I think you're twice as big than the average Japanese guy.
Yeah, but
You been to South Korea?
nah.
Me neither.
Oh, no, I've never been. Yeah, maybe like for a airplane stop, but
Yeah, but that doesn't count.
no, that's not that's true. But yeah, Japan is like number one. I want to eat at Jiro. I don't know if you know that, the sushi place.
Is that the one with the Netflix documentary?
Oh yeah, that one.
Oh,
I want
man.
to eat there so bad. And if I get my first confirmed show in Japan, and it's maybe coming in a couple of months, I'm directly gonna how do you say it? Reserve my spot
Yeah, you gotta
there
reserve
a couple of months
almost
before.
a
So
year in advance. It's insane.
okay, then it's maybe not even possible. But yeah, Japan is high on my list.
I mean, I watched that documentary. If you haven't already and you're watching right now, you should definitely do it. It's on Netflix. It's
Yeah, it's called Jiro.
yeah, something like-
sushi, something like that. Yeah,
something
it's
like
cool.
that. But I was sort of stunned that if you want to be a cook there, then for at least a year or a couple of years, the only thing you're allowed to do is wash the rice.
Dude, it's not even a year. It's like years.
Years.
It's like a lot of fucking time. Yeah, it's
Wow.
insane. But this, I don't know if he's still alive. But when I was like, it was how do you say it? Like an inspiration for me in life and about doing what I want. It's
dedication
not
of
even
those
about the
guys is
sushi.
insane.
I love sushi, but it's about how can you dedicate yourself to craft, and I don't even want to call it cook, but craft the best thing there is.
Yeah.
And that's kind of my life or career advice. If someone constantly does something, people will get to know you for that. And that guy kind of invented that sentence, and that was pretty cool. And yeah, I'm not gonna spoil
It's
the
sort
end.
of like the old saying, don't fear the guy that knows 1,000 kung fu moves, fear the guy that knows one move 1,000 times.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. And that's kind of how I tried to work as well. And especially in the beginning of my career as a DJ, but also as a drummer, because the longest period of my life, I was still a drummer. And even when I was 10 or 12, I dedicated myself to work on my rudiments and turn off the lights and practice hours and hours to get better. And hopefully people will get to know me for that.
I think it's a brilliant point you just brought up, the dedication, the part of it. Because, I mean, we're both at Dancefair. You're also supporting, or you're a teacher at a DJ school?
I was, but I'm having my own music academy.
All right.
But I work with guys and friends that give the lesson, and I'll be doing like a master class once a 3-4 months. But I can find the time to
No, that
give
will be
25 lessons a week. That's not possible. But yeah, but like the question I get the most in my Twitter, Facebook, direct message, fucking everything is, of course, can you listen to my demo? And number 2 is,
obviously,
how do you get there? And I'm like, I always say the same. And that's like when your rider's blocked and you don't know what to fucking make and do, and you're thinking about quitting, then you just continue. And then you leave 99% of all the people that will stop behind you, and beautiful things will come out of that. And that's like kind of what I say in a short sentence in line.
Yeah, I think that is so true because same as you, I've listened to tons and tons and tons of demos, and I
Yeah.
gave so many people advice, did master classes, seminars, up to a point that they were actually letting me lecture at a music academy. While I have no music academy training whatsoever.
Yeah.
But a lot of people just think that we get into the studio, we sit down, and we make a hit.
Yeah, that's
They forget about that we can just hear one little sound or have one sort of vague idea and just like a bulldog, just bite into that and just never stop until it works. And if it doesn't work, we'll find a way to make it work.
Yeah.
But that kind of discipline and determination that for some reason I feel it's not always getting through to the people, that you really need to go for it like a madman.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people underestimate that. They think, oh, I'll buy a laptop, some KRK set of speakers, a sound card.
Don't
and
buy KRKs.
yeah, but you know, they're cheap, the bass is kind of
Yeah.
okay, and you want to feel something when you're starting, so I understand why they buy them. And they think a couple of months and I'll just put in a kick, I'll sample it from a famous song, put a plug on it from Nexus, and I'll be there. But it's not that easy. When I was a drummer and I started to DJ, or not even start to DJ, I thought like, this is music everyone can fucking make. It's super easy. It's like
Well,
a
that's
small
the
that's
thing. Everybody can, but to make it to a certain level.
yeah, dude. Yeah, that's hard. And that's why I still why I'm obsessed by Wolfgang Gardner, Dead Mouse, and what.
What's your latest obsession? What are you obsessing about, like, this week, music-wise?
Like electronic music-wise, I would say Language by Porter Robinson. Again, I turned that. I don't listen to electronic music when I'm in the car or chilling. I listen to like Dutch music or classical stuff or sometimes hip-hop. But yeah, I think it's Language by Porter Robinson, how that track is made, and it has so much emotion, and how he created that is fucking insane. And that's what Dead Mouse does as well. Yeah, I don't have to tell how good Dead Mouse is, but yeah, that still obsesses me.
Oh, I just really like the look there in your eyes. Just
Oh,
for
yeah.
a split second, I saw you thinking about that song, and you are still literally baffled by
Yeah,
how you
Fuck yeah, dude.
you kind of wrap your head around it. I think that is a big part of being a producer, is being intrigued by music so much. I can literally lose sleep over, like for instance, you know the old songs of Congo Rock?
Yeah.
I still don't know how the beep he
That-
made
it's
those
insane.
songs that loud.
Oh yeah, that also. It kind of is that the sound was already distorted as fuck, so it can get very loud and it won't even matter.
But for some reason, there's like distortion sounding really bad, and
Yeah,
there's
yeah, yeah,
Congo
yeah.
Rock distortion
Yep.
sounding for some I don't know reason. I
Yeah,
don't know
it's
how he does it.
insane. Yeah, which one was it? The Congo Rock. You had the remix of one and Babylon.
Yeah.
The remix of one was pretty cool as well, and
Babylon.
Agora. That was pretty badass as well. He had like an EP with 2 songs. It and
But the Babylon song, that's responsible for
insane.
so much tonight as in this world.
yeah.
Whoa.
But you know, with music, and that's kind of a tip for young producers as well. It's about super corny, but it's about emotion. You know, like
Music is emotion forged into sound.
yeah, it is, and some producers are able to put that emotion, and it hits me. And I think one of my biggest songs, it's called Immortal. It's the worst produced track ever. Like, it's awful. If I take the limiter off and the effects on the master chain, it goes digital plus 12 in the red.
But still, I've seen a lot of crowds that beg to differ.
Dude, that's what I wanted to tell. But the emotion of that song, it was aggressive. It was hard hitting. It was making people feel united with, like, we live forever. And everything with the vibe of that song was right. And even though it was produced horrible, it worked. And so that's something as well. You can stare and focus on only mix, and sound design. But in the end, it's about creating the good vibe in a song, and it's better to think of a good line for the drop or in the build-up, or a good melody, and and if you have the emotion in well, it doesn't really matter if it sounds horrible. It works.
No, because that's the problem with a lot of songs right now.
That will come later as well.
There's no emotion in a lot of music.
No,
It's if you make music
Dude.
that is gonna be loud and big room. When I hear it, I wanna close my eyes and really feel that I'm in a major festival. And it's the same with underground music. If I like my underground music, but it's got to take me to that dodgy, smoky, way too hot, sweaty basement with
Yeah.
freaks.
but we kind of have the problem that the scene in 2017 changed a lot, and that
Yeah.
vibe you are describing right now is not that upcoming as it was in some parts of the world, or I guess.
No, because in the Netherlands we always had a strong house community even before the whole EDM hype, and now I think there are no EDM club nights anymore in the Netherlands. I mean, there
Dude,
are some
like-
indoor festivals, but
But
how is that for you? Because
Yeah, I wanted
the
to ask
Netherlands
you the
right
same
now
thing.
is just urban.
yeah, it's like all rappers. That's the thing.
thing. Everybody smelling their own armpits,
Yep.
dabbing all night long,
Popping bottles.
talking about expensive brands.
But the thing was, the Dutch crowd were always kind of like that, right?
yeah, eclectic was sort of made big here.
Yeah, but I have the luck that when they all have all the rappers booked,
Yeah.
and they booked me as the last slot to kill the crowd, and they put in like Tony Jr. and he will do one more set, and the sound. I'm not really feeling it in Holland, but like where will it go? Because people will get bored with those rappers.
Of course.
and hearing-
where will it go? I think it's an interesting one. I tend to spend a lot of time thinking about that. And I think somewhere deep down inside your brain, you have part of the answer. As music is always, it always goes into a cycle. At one
Yeah.
point, everything goes to the right, and then it's inevitable
explodes
to go
and
left.
implodes, or how you say it, like
Yeah.
again. Yeah.
So I've been telling that to tons of people already that try to frame me into be the guy that is bitching about the fact urban is big right now. Urban has always been big. It was ignored on the radio in the Netherlands, so it had
Yeah,
to
that's the
explode at
thing.
some
It
point.
became on the fucking radio, and that's why it like blew up, right?
Yeah, no, but it was inevitable. It had to be on the radio because radio stations were losing listeners, and everybody
Yeah.
was going to Spotify. And then at one point, one bright mind in Radioland was like, let's turn on Spotify.
Yeah.
Holy crap, it's all urban.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to change.
Yeah.
But for me, I put in a lot of effort with my own parties, Dirty House right now. And I find myself at a very comfortable spot in the industry right now because what I'm doing right now is no man's land. Because I'm pretty much too commercial for underground and too underground for commercial.
Yeah.
So if there's sort of like an underground party, they book me as sort of the guy that gets in, that sells tickets, but also see that some sort of commercial parties start booking me because I'm sort of more underground-ish. And I just like you have always done, we are able to adapt as DJs.
Yeah.
You just look in the crowd, yeah, I'm not going to do that one, and they're not going to feel
No.
that. So,
Dude, in Holland, when I play an hour, 90-minute set, I maybe play 5 EDM songs, not even. And I start with the more chill housey. Then I check out like one Moombaton song or like more urban. No, it's not urban, but like Moombatonish.
yeah.
And when I see like, the girls like this and the guys like it because the girls like it, then I'll continue playing that for like 10, 15, 20 minutes.
No,
So yeah, it's really
crowds are confused right
it's
now.
in Holland. In if I go like for international shows, it's a complete different story. Then they're like so much more open, and you're like the international DJ. In Holland, it's I think it's super interesting what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and I mean, when you're abroad, you can pretty much take a shit on stage.
Yeah, you can do fucking everything. That's true.
You haven't done that, right?
No, I pissed a couple of times on stage.
You pissed on stage?
Yeah, dude, that was
like full frontal.
No, I
just helicoptering it,
no,
winging it.
Dude, listen, that was a kind of a viral clip I did. I played a festival. Brian, help me. It was in Spain, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, in Bangkok as well. But the Spain one.
Bangkok. Really, I love this story already.
Yeah. No, it wasn't the Bangkok was the second one. The first one was in Spain. I played a festival with a show tech, and it was big. It was like 15,000 people, and I literally couldn't hold my piss anymore. And I was like, I was 35 minutes.
Fucked up.
I was 35 minutes in my 90-minute set.
And you're about to blow.
Yeah, I couldn't hold it. And I was like, dude, get Emma.
Get a bucket.
A bucket, yeah. And I always play, in international shows, I play this Payback by...
Steve Angelo or what?
Yeah, and other two guys, Dimitri Vangelis and...
All right,
yeah,
Payback.
Right.
You play Payback.
But that song, because I play kind of fast, has a break of 2 minutes. So
that's 120 precious seconds.
Dude, I was like, get me the bucket, and I pissed behind the booth. But he was vlogging, because I was vlogging, and he recorded it, and it was, in the end, it was so funny. I uploaded it. And yeah, it kind of went viral, and a lot of artists respond to it, and they thought it was super funny. But some were like, "That's so fucking unrespectful," and I'm like, "Dude,
what are you supposed to do? Piss yourself?"
Yeah, what? I wanted to give a good show. I wasn't able to jump because it hurt, and no one saw it. Of course, I uploaded it afterwards, but I wanted to do it because I wanted to keep the show doing great. So that was kind of funny. So I literally. Pissed on stage during my set 2 times, and in Bangkok was the same situation, but it was a smaller club. But now I really pissed before I walked.
But you know, I don't think Dutch people were that shocked, because I mean, we have Billy the Kid here.
Yeah.
And you know, when Billy is playing, you can't trust anything in the DJ booth that even looks remotely yellow. Because I've seen this guy. Well, wow, it was like he could fill up like a 6-pack full of beers, basically.
Yeah.
So, then again, I mean, you also know Dark Raver, so...
Yeah, of course.
You know,
but like for international people, it's kind of heavy. Like Dutch people, they didn't even care. But now everyone find it funny. And when I uploaded the second vlog a couple of weeks later, I did it in Bangkok as well. I got this tweet from Dimitri Vangelis and Wyman, like, I'm so honored Tony Jr. is always pissing in our break. Thanks. Oh yeah, and I had another movie that was also in that song, because it's a long break. It gives me time.
Yeah.
A girl threw her bra on stage, and it was like this small bra. It was super funny, so I put it on, and it was also on that track on Payback. So he's like, "Thanks for always pissing in my break and wearing bras. I love it." But you find it very funny. So.
Oh wow.
Okay, but we kind of lost track because we were talking about...
That's the whole point of the show.
Yeah, all right, that's true. But I was kind of interested in what you had to say about the whole change. And so
the whole change in the Netherlands. Yeah, it was sort of inevitable. It had to, you know, EDM as as a structure just had to go, because I feel and I think it got too much of a recipe.
Yeah, but yeah, why do you think it changed?
Well,
I have a clear thought on it.
Well, it changed. You know, it changed because the music became way too industrialized.
Yeah.
There were way too many companies involved, and not only local small labels, but like really big international labels. And they wanted a certain type of music and a certain recipe, and that recipe worked. And while that recipe worked in the Netherlands, the songs and the genre reverberated out through international territories to America. So that wave kept on working in a bigger and bigger circle, so more labels wanted it.
Yeah, commercial.
Commercial. So in the end, everybody was going for that kind of thing, and what got lost along the way was the creativity, because once you started doing new things, it wasn't within that well-defined space that all the big labels wanted. So labels, A&Rs, manager,
But
everybody
I
was
think
pushing
you're
for that thing.
taking a different route. I agree with you, but I think the problem was the girls on the heels and the dresses. They
Yeah,
didn't
let's
like
not
it.
forget about the girls. Good point.
Yeah, I think that's the fucking problem. That's
But
why.
then again, you and I, we've both seen girls in high heels jumping like there was
Of
no
course,
tomorrow.
but not all the fucking time. And they
No.
started realizing, and with VIP and bottle service and shit like that. That's why I think the urban change.
Yeah, of course, because you just want to have your labels and everything.
Yeah, but that's the music side. What you just explained. That's definitely
And
true.
how do you think that personality, or at least perceived personality in social media, became more and more of a thing? That people didn't only want to hear like a really loud song by some geeky guy in a basement, but they also, in order to be fans, they wanted to see a person and
Oh yeah,
something
like
interesting.
it's super boring to watch a DJ.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I always
I
judge myself when I'm playing and the CO2 is gone, the fire is gone, the lights are gone, the LED screens are gone, and what's happening then? That needs to be interesting.
Yeah.
And that's how I look at myself as a crowd and want to be cool to watch. And that's something with the urban guys. Something is happening. And they're with
Definitely.
like 8 people on the stage and doing funny things. But as a DJ, a lot of DJs are not able to do that or don't want to do that. And I try to bring that to the stage as well. But that's the thing as well. It's boring.
Yeah. Well, where do you think it's gonna go?
I have a clear thought
Well,
or
bring it.
idea.
Share.
I think Sunnery James and Ryan Marciano are gonna blow up this year. I think that's coming back.
That's unfair.
Why?
Well, he already got like the #1 top model. Why should he have everything?
No, but you know what I mean with that kind of. I think the Latin house from let's say 6 years ago will come back, like the Lift You
Yeah,
Up Melvin Reese songs and
I think you got a point there, because I've been spending a ton of work in the studio trying to do something that is kind of hard to do. But that's pretty much in line with what you just said. It's sort of like combining the danceability
to
and
the harder level.
Yeah, and also the coming of the whole Afro beats.
Yeah.
And not in the way that old school Dutch Latin house was made,
Yeah.
because old school Dutch Latin house sort of sounded like, stiff white people trying to dance.
Yeah.
And, the real Afro beats have got like that real groove.
Yeah.
And that, when that is combined with elements of house, because I've noticed a lot of urban songs are going slightly up in tempo.
Yeah.
And there's one thing which I find very interesting is the gap is being filled. And with the gap, I mean that really strange BPM range between 110 and 118, where there is literally pretty much nothing.
Yeah, there's not real
There-
a real style connected to it. If you go to, let's say, what is it, the 80, you have the major laserish, or with
Yeah.
that one you have this, and
Yeah, 100,
yeah,
dancehall
then you go
108
to
boomba.
Geschaffenstein, like that's weird. That's hard. That's hard to do.
It's a strange rhythm, but I've seen some really cool songs popping up at 113, 116. That
Yeah, what
pretty
Kygo
vague
is
era.
doing, right? That's like kind of 113. But
Yeah,
that's more the
or,
tropical house.
Muramasa just released a song called Nuggets, which is sort of UK, sort of Afro, sort of deep housey. It's a mixed match of everything.
Well,
So
but okay, it's kind of been, I think it was last summer, the last time I saw you play, and you made a big switch from the dirty house sound to the more, I don't know, I'm a noobish, maybe with that, but the UK garage kind of ish.
Actually, what I did was go back to where Dirty House came from. I
Yeah,
just
alright,
went
that's-
just completely back to my roots. At one point, I was doing EDM, and I was in New York. I just sold out Webster Hall, and my MC came to me, Chen, and Chen was like, "Hey, dude, yeah, tone it down with the DJing, man. I mean, they are already jumping as high as people can possibly jump. They can go harder. What, you want everybody to get a heart attack here? I was playing full-on Dutch mode. And, you don't need to go full-on, like, 45 seconds a track for international crowds, because if you got them, you got them.
Yeah.
So at that point, I sort of got bored. And also, yeah, at one point I made my USB stick like one folder, and I could basically had a chimpanzee pressing play at that point because any song would have made any crowd go wild in that period of time. So it sort of lost meaning, and I felt more like I was a monkey with a trick instead of a musician making music he loved. And I was a bit too caught up in the having to make EDM stuff. And after I released Monkey Rhythm, I put in all my EDM wishes and dreams, all my anger and all my aggression into that song. And after that, I was pretty much a happy penguin. And I didn't really feel like making that music anymore. And then I started thinking, yeah, why am I doing this in the first place? And then I got to a point, oh, yeah, I love music. I'm just not doing the music I love. So I just slowly went back. I didn't want to be the kind of artist that just has a fucking brain fart and changes entire career overnight. So I took like 3 years to take Dirty House completely back to its roots.
Yeah, but live, you definitely went from this to that, right? Because I saw your sets with the Dirty House, and suddenly you were, let's say it's super stupid, but you went like Bass House UK.
Yeah, I always try to put in, if you listen to my mixtapes, and as well to a couple of songs I released in the UK, always try to go and be that Dutch guy that brings a little bit of that UK, but there was never any market. And while I was making that change, at one point I saw, hey, people are kind of feeling this right now. So for me, that was like, hey, I'm getting a free pass to do the thing I have for a decade wanted to do.
Yeah.
So for a lot of people...
And what are you doing now in Holland?
What I'm doing right now in Holland, yeah, it's like...
How does
it's
it work?
a pretty... Child lock. It's a pretty strange concoction of deep house, future house, UK bass, with a touch of garage. It's somewhere in that area, but for me, I always try to bring some commercial elements into the current genre I'm feeling at the moment. So I'm trying to make things that are rather underground, pretty much understandable.
But what do you do if you have to play main time, kill the crowd?
Oh,
Same?
Yeah, I mean, within that genre, I can go from 120 BPM to 135. So when I was playing EDM, like 130 was the max, and I can go even faster. And you know,
But nowadays, faster is not like...
It's not necessary. It depends entirely on the crowd. You really, because I know that I'm walking a very thin rope that could go wrong any second. But you know, that's like half the fun for me. Anyway, I tend to always want things that are pretty much impossible. But I know it's working because the Dirty House tour right now, every edition was like sold out as a motherfucker. Yeah, even within that new set of music I've got songs that I can close a set as well. You know, the Moxie type of sound, and I just combine that with all the bits and pieces.
I bring it to hardstyle. That's what I really love doing. I don't know. That works for me.
I have a soft spot for hardstyle as well.
Is it possible to get a water? Norman?
Medic, we need some water.
I'm super thirsty, man.
He's super thirsty. No hardstyle, but are there any? Do you do hardstyle tracks, or have you let people made hardstyle remixes of your stuff?
I just released. Oh no, I'm gonna release. So if you're watching and you're waiting for Chase the Sun, I get a lot of messages. I did a bootleg with my friend Haverklap. Yeah. From Chase the Sun. And it started with 130, kind of tremorish, kind of the hum EDM. And then in the second break, it makes a transition to 150 BPM. And it drops super corny into hardstyle. Corny, like it's super hard. Thanks, man. And that's my first step of making hardstyle, and I kind of love it, but I don't want to go into like making hardstyle because I know it's like a very closed scene and they will never accept me probably, or I have to completely dedicate myself in making hardstyle, and that's what I don't want to do as well. But yeah, I'm thinking about like making steps to hardstyle as well, because I'm looking at my shows and I'm looking and think what am I doing? What works super well? what do I like the most, what gives me the most energy, and that's still sometimes in the end is hardstyle. And so that's why I did a bootleg, and Tiesto is like closing all his sets like on the biggest fucking stages with that song. He wanted to sign it, but was like a lot of headaches with the clearance of the melody we used. So we still like released it as a free one. But so yeah, that's my first step in making hardstyle, and it's kind of pretty cool.
I think that is sort of a Dutch thing to think about hardstyle in a certain way, because we had that first wave of, you know, pre-hardstyle, the Gabber age and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it sort of got a bad reputation for, personally, I think all the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But internationally, they don't know that. So hardstyle is perceived, in my opinion, always very different outside of the Netherlands compared to inside the Netherlands right now.
Mm-hmm.
And if I've got to be absolutely honest right now, what's really killing the clubs is it's either urban or hardstyle.
Yeah, that's the funny part. And then you see the girls
going at it
with the heels and the dresses jump like maniacs as well. Yeah, I always like international shows. It's a different story, but in Holland, I love it when I push the button of the crowd, and from Moombaton to make everyone go crazy on hardstyle. And when I see that happen, I always get energy, but I get this like aggressive energy in myself, and I'm kind of proud of myself. Yeah, I make them go. And
isn't that sort of like the greatest feeling for a DJ, that when you press play, and it doesn't matter what kind of music you play, that there's some people in the audience that literally lose their shit.
Yeah,
they're watching it, you like,
amazing.
You know, they're having a moment they will remember.
Yeah, and that's what I love. And when they leave the club, I want them to think I've seen like 10 DJs or 9 urban rappers or whatever, but this Tony guy, he was crazy as fuck, and he made the whole crowd go crazy. And that's the best feeling in the world. But it's not only pressing play, it's about how
you got to bring in the whole story.
Yeah,
and
how I talk a lot with the people, and sometimes they just go, and that's fucking amazing. And yeah, that's what I like.
How do you do that, talking to the crowd when the crowd does not speak your language?
Oh, you mean international shows?
Yeah.
There are places where English is, they don't understand English as well. But in the end, if the crowd, like 5% of the crowd speaks English, it's really hard, but they know put your hands up, they know go down, split up, they know they know words that I can use that they will understand. And if I can tell you something, but don't say anything, and you just feel the vibe of it.
You are also quite the expressive guy. I've seen you on stage, shirt off, just pointing and everything.
Yeah, if I walk to the crowd somewhere in Italy or Hungary, or it doesn't matter, and I take my shirt off and I walk to the crowd and say, how are you guys motherfuckers doing? And I do this, they know what to do, and they will
Has it ever
respond.
gone wrong?
No, not really.
With you going full rage mode and the crowd was like, nah.
No, I won't. I'm not capable of going full rage mode if the crowd won't go. I need that energy. But they have been maybe 1 or 2 times I said, let's make a mosh pit. And they just simply didn't understand. And like the promoter said on forehand, they love mosh pits. But I had to say the word pogo. I didn't know that. And then he said, say pogo. And I said, pogo. That's what happens sometimes. And then you stand there for like 20 seconds, like, make a mosh pit, everyone to the left. And they're like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, it's weird. And then just make a pogo. And then they went. So it happens like rarely, but most of the time they're kind of used to it or go down. And you said about a monkey doing a trick or something. There are some things that work really well. Like play a certain song, say something at a certain moment. And I have tracks in my set list I'm playing for 2 fucking years. And I'm thinking, I need to change the drop, or I need to change this, or change something in the song, or my own songs. But it still works, and it gives me so much energy that I keep doing it. And I try to be different around the other songs I play. But there are some bootlegs or mashups that I like to play. And I played them for 2 years, and I'm like, fuck, I cannot even play this anymore. But if the crowd goes on it, why not?
Oh, I know that feeling all too well.
Well,
You know,
like if I go to fucking Beatport right now or
Beat what?
anything, Beatport.
Beat where? Beat who? Oh, you mean that website that forgot to pay the artists for a month because they were broke?
Oh, serious? Was that
Yeah.
happening? When?
Oh, it was like 2 years back. And then for a month they decided we're not going to pay anybody. And that was for me the definite, and not out of a principle like, all right, fuck Beatport from now on, but for me that was like the point. Everything just went to shit for Beatport, because I mean it used to mean a thing. If you had like a Beatport top 10,
Yeah, dude.
people would notice. But there's like a ton of new DJs that have no clue what a Beatport is.
No.
Do you have Beatport? No, I don't have money to buy hardware.
I have
Wait.
USB sticks.
Yeah.
No, but to be honest, that's a funny story. I think I can say I had one of the last Beatport number ones that mattered. Matter. That was like, small 2 years ago. My song with Tiesto, Get Down, was my first number one hit Beatport. And at that moment, it was super important. Like kind of after that, if you hit a Beatport number one right now, yeah. But so I was super happy with it, that I had like, I call it the important Beatport number one. But when I go to that website and I check new music, I don't know what to do. I don't know. Where do you get your fucking new music from?
For me, it all comes from certain YouTube channels, Spotify playlists. I check, I tend to check on the competition. 1001 track list, see what the rest is doing.
Yeah, that's kind of what I check as well, but 99% I don't.
I usually try to, when I like an artist, then I start checking the artists surrounding that artist, and I start checking them, because sort of getting close to the fire. And that's also one of the things I really hated about Beatport, where I personally think they completely missed the mark. Their whole categorization in different genres was absolutely off.
And there was Deadmau5 who was tweeting, "Yo, I'm Big Room now." That was funny, right?
Big Room. I mean, Moombahton was like a thing for years. It was wrecking clubs for like 3-4 years, and then they eventually
disappeared, right?
No. They put it under Glitch Hop. I don't know.
That's a complete different.
Yeah, and Future House, they completely ignored that when Gecko was number one, and they still called it electro. And I know genres are pretty much a local thing, because what is being considered progressive here or electro there might not be the same thing in a different continent. But, I can find good music on Beatport, and for some reason I always end up listening to some boring deep house techno lift music.
Yeah.
It's strange. But a lot of people struggle with that as well, with finding, a good source of music. But nonetheless, I remember Napster being the to-go place.
Dude, Napster, Kazaa, what was it?
Getting 1 million viruses a day from Kazaa, LimeWire, Audio Galaxy.
Yeah. I was kind of young for Napster because we were like pretty late with having a computer. So when we finally had the computer, Napster was already gone. And then we had Kazaa.
Yeah, I think
Kazaa and LimeWire was the thing.
Kids right now thinking, Napster? They have to look it up in their history books.
There was something going on that it would come back or something, right? As a streaming, or am I
mean,
wrong?
they wanted to make it something that worked, but Spotify, that worked.
Yeah,
that was a brilliant move. Make a lot of use of Spotify? Do you make a lot of use of Spotify?
Like in my personal life?
Oh, personal or professional?
Since a year. I never used it because I didn't understand, and I'm always late with everything. When all the DJs play with USB sticks, I'm still coming with my CDs and playing. So I'm always late, and I'm not really open. If something works, why should I change? And I kind of finally knew how to listen to music on YouTube and had some playlists or something. So, but yeah, I use Spotify a lot right now. But I'm super interested what it will bring as well, because I think it's very interesting that you can have a song with 100 million streams, but not having a hit.
Yeah,
right.
It all comes down to what defines a hit.
Is like my question was, is a YouTube view more valuable than a Spotify stream?
Well, that is something
I
that
think
is very debatable. I think YouTube, you got to be there. You got to watch it.
That's what I want to say. Like, YouTube is not about like creating playlists.
I mean,
you can have 100 million fucking streams, but like the biggest gym or supermarkets can have their big fucking playlists, and people won't even listen to your song, and you still have millions of views because of a certain playlist. That's
true.
Like that's what I'm thinking about. Like, how important is a Spotify stream against a YouTube view or something like that? That's what I was thinking about.
I mean, they can put people on the moon with no problem, but making a YouTube app that will play once you close your phone, apparently impossible.
Yeah, that's my thing. Why does it stay?
Yeah, they gotta sell ads, even though there's some workarounds for it. I think,
but it's probably because they want to keep you there.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta watch those ads.
Yeah, it makes sense. You have like apps that can kill the ads.
Yeah.
Work pretty well.
So, how is your for the past 2 months, there have been a lot of changes in Facebook as well.
Dude, like, I had a funny story. Yesterday, I wanted to watch a movie, and like once a 6 months, I watch a movie, and sometimes I didn't know what movie to watch. And 6 months ago or a year ago, I put it on my fan page. I have 800,000 likes, and I put a message like, advise me a good movie, and it got like tons of reactions, and then I just deleted it again. And that's what I did in history sometimes. And now I put like this message, oh, someone a good movie. It got like 20 likes.
Yeah.
And 15 reactions.
It's
like
insane.
20 minutes. I was like, it's gone.
Yeah,
and
but you're not the only one, because
Oh.
I was noticing this as well. So I started talking to my manager, and he had been talking to a lot of people. I've been talking to the people behind Dancefair. And, Zuckerberg wants to make Facebook more personal, and I do understand that, because it did become sort of a spam fest, which is good for us. But, right now, even if you do a paid, like an advertised post,
it still gets fucked.
and I have like around 300,000 followers.
Uh-huh.
It used to, when I did a normal post, close to 1,000 likes or at least a ton of comments.
Uh-huh.
And now even a paid post with like a proper budget on the right target audience that is into music and into certain genres that I'm standing for.
Uh-huh.
Nah, well, I can be happy with 20 reactions. And
Yeah.
and it's really, it got weird, man.
Yeah, but I read an article a couple of, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, that they're gonna, how do you call it? Afknijpen?
Yeah,
Cut
Yeah.
on the viral thing on posts that you ask something like, yo, where do you want to see me play? Or what's your favorite song by me? And that they're gonna cut that kind of stuff as well. And that's what I discovered yesterday when I asked, which movie should you recommend me or should I watch? And it got like completely, and I don't understand. Of course, there are big fucking companies that ask like, share this message and you will get a new Mercedes AMG, and they don't even give the fucking Mercedes. But what they're doing right now is destroying the whole community for artists.
Yeah, you really gotta watch what you're saying, because it all has to do with a whole lot of AI in the background.
Yeah.
I just read an article today that the big merchant website AliExpress,
Yeah.
that their artificial intelligence is now so good at reading text that they had sort of a research against real people versus their artificial intelligence, and both had to answer questions. And by, I think, 0.1%, the AI was better at answering questions.
Yeah, it's insane, right?
So Facebook already had a punishment for words like now, or really activating sentences. Like, you really got to do some stuff. But and there was also this strange thing, when Facebook got hands on Instagram.
Yeah.
At that point, when you posted something on Instagram, and on the Instagram app, you would say, also post on Facebook. Oh, your Instagram post on Facebook went sky high. But then later on, because they wanted to strengthen that bond, later on they put the reverse in place, like an absolute penalty. If I post a picture on Instagram and from the app to Facebook,
Yeah.
nobody sees it.
Yeah.
But if I post the same picture on Facebook, it goes up.
Yeah, it's
So
weird.
there's a lot of things going back
But
and forth. It's a cat and mouse game, basically.
Yeah, but to be honest, I really don't care about Facebook. They should do whatever the fuck they want. I will post a picture once a week, and if it get like 2,000 likes, I'm happy, and I don't even pay for it. It's good. And I try to put like nothing, like the place where I'm at, or like I'm happy. Fuck it. And I focus on Instagram because the platform is more fun for me because I can make like the stories and cool pictures, and I like making pictures of the places where I am, and YouTube, and of course Spotify is super interesting, how it works. I kind of just discovered how it all works. But yeah, Facebook, and yeah, I've never been on Snapchat because I'm still not really
Snapchat
understand
was sort
it.
of a Dutch thing, or at least
Yeah.
for
No, it wasn't a Dutch thing, dude.
No?
Like when I did like a lot of shows in France 3 years ago, like everyone was Snapchatting, and it was,
Oh wow.
I was like, why? And then it became huge. But I don't like it. I have the stories.
Oh, for some reason, when I did Snapchat, I only got Dutch reactions, and Instagram like all international.
For me, that's pretty hard. Like I have a pretty big Dutch following, so when I'm going live on Instagram, I'm talking Dutch. And Brian just said, why are you talking Dutch? I said like, because 80 or 90% from the people that are watching the live video on my Instagram, they are Dutch. And if I talk English, I see the views go down. So that's why I keep talking Dutch. And that's pretty hard.
Yeah, being Dutch has its advantages and disadvantages. Have you ever noticed? Because everywhere I go, once you say you're Dutch, people tend to be quite happy.
Yeah,
It's
the same with football. 30 years ago, I'm Dutch. I play football, and they think you're Johan Cruyff. Yeah,
pretty much. But have you ever, had the reverse? That people are like, oh, Dutch. Meh.
like that. I was a DJ.
Mm.
No,
That you told somebody you were Dutch international and
no. Like everyone loves it, but then they say, "Where are you from?" And I'm from Holland. And they say, "Where?" Amsterdam. Oh yeah, I fucking love Amsterdam.
I always tell people I'm from Amsterdam. One
Yeah,
time outside of Europe, I'll just say Amsterdam.
Yeah, I'm from Utrecht, where Utrecht is like water fire with football and everything. It's like a kind of a game. But when I'm out of Holland, I always say I'm from Amsterdam because people understand that. Yeah, but no, like being Dutch never was a disadvantage for me. Or I don't know.
Have you never had any? Because sometimes I need to explain people, especially when I'm doing business abroad. Like, all right, I'm Dutch. That means I'm extremely straightforward and extremely direct.
Yeah, that's definitely
have you ever
something.
encountered
Like
that?
especially in Asia, people are kind of different, and they think we are pretty intense in what we say and how we talk, and like.
Yep. Well, pretty much they think we're rude.
Yeah, sometimes it can be rude. But I'm kind of extreme as well, because a lot of people, when they're in a restaurant and they ask, "Did you like the food?" 99% will say, "Yeah, it was good," even though they didn't like it. I will say, "No, it wasn't that good." So I'm pretty straightforward.
Yeah, because there's a subtle difference between honestly answering, "No, I didn't like the food," and just going off at somebody. But
No, but it wasn't like really a disadvantage. And if something like that happens, I will always explain. Yeah, in Holland we're like super straightforward, and they find it funny or maybe uncomfortable. I'm not in a relationship for a year with someone like that or something, so it doesn't matter.
I mean, we're both pretty direct guys, so I think we might run into a little trouble, because I've been counting, and we're what is it, the 15th right now? Yeah, well, the 16th.
16.
So we're 16 days into 2018, and I've seen 16 daily, well, sort of social media disaster hype of the day things where people were like super pissed off.
You're
I'm
referring
to the whole
to
extreme
Boof and
political
Cash, or
correct business. You know, I mean, when we think something, we say something.
yeah.
And I tend to get into some trouble online because I always speak my mind, and not everybody seems to be able to handle that. And I've noticed it's been getting worse. Don't you ever worry that at one point, people will be so caught up in being politically correct that it will be sort of hard for you to speak your mind without
Do you
getting...
refer that I always say I don't talk about politics, I don't talk about war, I don't talk about
No, not
racism.
even about politics, but just for having an opinion on, geez, for all I care.
I always think, when I was a little kid, a teenager, I loved rock bands. I loved Slipknot, Limp Bizkit, Rammstein, fucking everything. And once there was a time, you had this huge fucking tour in America, and it was called Rock Against Bush. And I didn't care about Bush or who was the president, but I just didn't like the fact they were playing their music because of some political thing. And I always like to be super neutral and about everything. And I don't really speak my opinion, but I'm super honest by myself. So in the history with maybe girls or problems, I'm super open. But if it comes to like other things or other, like at the moment in Holland with the music, with the rap and people that start to make music, it's you can have your opinion about that it's horrible or the best thing. I want it, but I just don't do it. Like
That is wise.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago I had this interview at the lie detector thing at Concentrate, and they asked me about a couple of YouTubers, about the Snap King guys and stuff like that, and I was like, fuck it, I'm at the lie detector, I'm gonna speak whatever the fuck I want. And I said, it's the worst thing ever, I want it to disappear, it's the worst example for kids, please let their content burn. That's what I kind of said. And they were like responding on Twitter, like, but they were not able to kind of defend themselves because I said things that were fucking true. And they know they're making bad content, but it works, it gets views. And that was kind of the first time I created like this little social media fight. And I was like, shut the fuck up, lay in your bed and leave the fuck alone. And it was pretty funny, but you don't like really win. You never win.
No, I mean,
so I tried.
You know the old meme, and this is about as politically incorrect as it gets. Arguing on the internet is like winning the Special Paralympics. Even if you win, you're still retarded.
Yeah.
And, no disrespect meant to the disabled, but now sometimes you know, people don't respond to, you know, conversate or to see your opinion and, you know, have you see their opinion and, you know, find some common ground. People just respond for the sake of responding. They want, a lot of people tend to be the kind of person that just want to be right because it's perfectly cool to be right. Personally, I love to be wrong because, you know, you said a couple of things. You proven me wrong today at a couple of things. And I love that because every time I'm wrong, that means I get wiser.
Yeah, that's cool, right?
You know, you get smarter every day.
I'm flirting in my mind to talk about something, but I just said I want to be neutral.
I dare you.
Yeah, but like I just put it on the table, and I just want to know your opinion, and I will stay neutral for whenever I think I will.
Bring it on.
Like what I thought was super interesting was the whole H&M thing. With
the H&M thing.
Yeah, H&M.
All right.
You know, you don't know.
Yeah, I followed it online.
Yeah,
and,
what do you think about that?
Well, first of all,
like The Weeknd was pulling out every with his sponsor thing.
I think it was kind of overreacting, and this is my personal opinion. If you would say that a kid of a certain color should not wear certain clothing, I think that is racism. If you, because he has a dark skin, he cannot wear that sweater. That's like, you know, you're making a difference between certain types of people, and you also define types of people where you should absolutely not. And then, you know, it's only racist if you connect dark-skinned people with monkeys, which I don't. So for me, I mean, man, I've been called monkey all my life, and I call little kids monkeys all the time. I call my girlfriend monkey. You know, it's a sort of fun, loving names, and you know, little kids, regardless their color, I mean, they're frolicking around like monkeys, and that's not in a bad way or in a racist way. That's in a fun, caring, loving way.
Yeah, but
that's nothing to do with racism.
You speak about it like pretty clear, but we live in a moment right now that I can say something in this stream right now and just say something that I don't intend to be bad or anything, and then it gets blown up, and that's why I just stay neutral about everything. And because as an artist, I don't want to hurt people because they have a certain thought. I just want to make music, and you like that or you hate it, and whatever. If it's politics, skin, or war, or fucking, I don't care. It's not my job. Then I would have been like a politician or...
Oh, that will be the day. You in politics.
That would be interesting. That would be interesting.
I mean, they should have like artists run, you know, the country for 12 minutes. I think after 12 minutes we would completely destroy the whole country.
Yeah.
But everybody would be drunk, partying, and everything. But
no, so that was my vision. I'll stay blanco.
No, that's so cool.
And
because I was
we have some.
yeah, we get some hints.
Oh, we got some questions
Oh, we
from
got
the
some
people
questions.
that are
Well, before we
watching.
go into the question, I had one thing to add
Uh-huh.
because I've noticed this. You know as well as I think anybody that if you truly wish to hurt yourself and if you truly want to have a bad day, you will start reading YouTube comments.
Oh yeah, I fucking hate YouTube comments.
Yeah,
dude.
but all of a sudden, I mean, hateful YouTube comments have been around for as long there was a YouTube. And that is one salty society,
Yeah.
the YouTube responding community. But for some reason, I was watching Dutch national television, a news program, and all of a sudden, people's reactions on YouTube are now, just random people, are now making the news. Since when did that become relevant? I think it's kind of crazy that everybody's opinion is now all of a sudden like majorly massive important.
I always think people that hate you or talk shit, they're the frustrated people behind their fucking computer just want to be you.
What is the most interesting hateful comment you ever had that we were like, you know what? I'm not even mad at it. This is brilliant.
Now, the thing is, I had some things on television with the reality show 2 years ago, and that was kind of personal. It ended up super personal with my mom and stuff like that. It was super beautiful, but it had some heavy parts as well. And people had opinions about that, and they start judging the situation or my mom or me. And I was like, get fucked. You don't know the situation, but you cannot blame them because they only seen that moment on television. That was kind of intense, but if you want to hurt my feelings, dude, you need to be really, really good. I don't care. So I always love it. And sometimes I get like direct messages from a 12-year-old kid. He's like, you're the biggest fucking fag I've ever seen. I don't have it anymore, but your nail polish and your long hair and your tattoos, you're a fucking fag. You need to die. And I'm like, I'm taking a shit. And I get this message right now, and I'm like, this is fun. And then the only thing I say is, why? And they're like,
mental breakdown.
You respond. I'm like, yeah, you sent me a message. I'm curious. Why? Oh, no, I didn't mean to. Oh, shit. And you can see their brains like explode. And within 1 minute, they change from the biggest hater to someone they will follow and like every fucking picture for the next 2 years. So I call it like the hate lover transition or something. And if you do that sometimes, it's super funny. They don't hate you. They just want your attention. And
Most of them just have a very bad day.
yeah, probably. And
just
I
want
don't.
to vent. I got some questions that just came in.
For me or for us?
For us.
Interesting.
Yeah, we've got a guy, Hugo Oostendorp, and he wants to know your thoughts.
What was his name?
Hugo Oostendorp.
You say his name.
In Dutch, it's Hugo Oostendorp.
I always find it so weird when someone Dutch says a Dutch name in English. Like Hugo. No, it's good.
It's Hugo.
Hugo?
Yeah. And he wants to know your thoughts about ghost producing.
Dude, ghost producing, like, it's such a big fucking thing, you know, in the DJ producer industry. But don't forget, like, Toto made, I think, 50% of Michael Jackson's songs. Like, when you go to a show of Toto, they play a lot of fucking Michael Jackson songs. So it's been there always. When there is a band, there is a external producer in the studio who works helping on the songs. So I can say I made all my tracks, like most of them on my own. I had tracks from like other DJs, like, yo, you want to work on this together? And I didn't even do that much. But I think if you want to be a ghost-produced DJ, do your thing. You will never enjoy the feeling of something that you created, you made, you worked hard for it, and played it for a crowd. I had that feeling with my tracks, and I was able to put emotion in my track and give that to the crowd and like give it back in a positive way. Do whatever the fuck you want. In the end, the knowledge and the capability of make music that you have, you will never lose. And if your ghost producers leave you alone, you're standing there in the rain with nothing. So that's my thought of ghost produced.
Bro, that is by far, hands down, the best answer I ever heard on that question. Because I never, because I'm the guy, I produce everything myself. I'm sort of like almost aggressive up to the point, like, you know, if my song isn't good enough, that means I'm not good enough. And that means there's only one option that is I need to be better. And that is part of the challenge for me. But to put it in your way, like the emotion you're feeling and you're getting, yeah, man, there is nothing more beautiful than to see something you created, and you put in. For some songs, you have like a cheerful moment in your life, and you translate that into music. You see people get that same cheerful feeling you had. That is utterly brilliant. We have another question, and this is I'm just gonna do the English thing again.
All right,
this is from Sam Jansen. Sam Jansen.
Sam Jansen.
That sounds like somebody in a movie. This summer, Sam Jansen, together with The Rock. No, he wants to know, how do you reach important people in the scene?
Yeah, that's like number 3.
Everybody asks that
question. Like I always say, make your shit good enough.
Be relentless as well. Because I know
what is relentless?
Relentless, like
unstoppable.
Just keep on going. Because I remember it was I think more than a decade and a half ago, and I was playing one of my first gigs outside of my hometown. Like, yeah, I'm finally out of the ghetto. Not that I'm really from a ghetto, but Spijkenis is pretty crappy. And there was this guy that always was in front of the booth, and he was like, "Hey, listen to my promo CD." And he would, you know, once I talked to him, he would mail me, and if I wouldn't mail back, he would mail me again. And at a certain point, I think he got my number, and he was like relentlessly hunting down people. And that guy was Nicky Romero. And it was because of his vindictiveness, and because he just, you know, if he wanted to connect somebody, oh, he just went at it. And Afrojack was in the beginning exactly the same. I think he I'm not going to name numbers because I don't know the exact numbers, but I know he sent David Guetta like tons and tons and tons and tons of mails until he got a response. I think for Sam, the most important thing is if you want to be an artist, think like an artist. And artists never go in the front entrance. We take the back door. So if you wanted to reach...
Yeah, I'm completely opposite. Like, I once went to Sebastian Ingrosso to Club Noah. It was in Groningen. It's closed a couple of years now. And I brought my CD, and I went to the booth, and I gave him the CD. He kissed it, put it in the air, and put it in his CD. But that's kind of the only thing. Of course, I've sent demos to a lot of artists. But in the end, as a tip, no answer is no. And if they think they can make money out of your song, they know how to reach, and they will listen. And if they don't listen, of course, be relentless how you say it. But I don't like to kiss ass because I need something from someone. So that's kind of
what I meant with the back door. It's
no, I understand. I kind of know that, but like
I know you're one sexed up beast, but
I let my music speak. And I know I've sent a lot of demos in the beginning as well, and I didn't have any response. And once I got like, I think it was William Commandeur or something from Flamingo, and he responded, and it was the first response I got on my music, and he was like, "This is a pretty good song. It's not for Flamingo, but it's good. Keep on sending." And the second mail I ever got was from, I think it was Nicky Romero, and he said, "Nice, but not my..." So I know it's super important to respond, but for like big companies, make it better. Make it better.
I think it's also very important that you...
I want more questions, by the way. 2 more.
Yeah, by the way, we've got some Dancefair weekenders to give away.
Yeah.
And we only got a couple of minutes left. But I also think for people that want to send demos or connect an artist is to be very, very real about how good your music actually is. And also, it serves no purpose if you're going to send me a tropical house song. First of all, I don't play it, I don't like it, and I have very little knowledge of it.
Yeah, but you cannot blame them.
No,
you're just on the list. that they found on all the fora and
True,
internet,
true, true.
and they see your name and they just put you there in the BCC with hundreds of others. So you cannot blame them. Maybe you like the song and you
No,
want to
yeah.
make a tropical song and you think, let's do this one together.
True. Yeah, but sometimes I do like a song, but it's like, yeah, it's really not for me. And I know that's the answer they can do absolutely nothing with. But
I like it. It's not my style. Yeah. You have 2 more questions?
Yeah.
I want the heavy ones. Or one more.
Let's see. Oh, wait. Well, right. Luco Slot. Oh, that came out all wrong. Luco Slot. What do you think? Oh, this is a question for you, because you are like, super into school and education. I've read into you. What do you think about going to a school for producing?
Go into school for producing. If you want to learn about the technical stuff in the studio, what is the envelope, what is the sustain, like EQing, you know how it works. It can give you a good heads up. But in the end, you cannot learn or teach creativity.
Nope.
I did everything on my fucking own. I had, when I started, some hours of help by Melvin Rees. He was from Utrecht, still from Utrecht as well. He came to my studio because I started playing a little bit in the club. He played as well. And he helped me for like 3 or 4 hours. And I'm not a big fan. You get this whole hype because the Herman Brood Academy is rehearses in our company for my dad and me. And what you get is a lot of DJs and bands. They go to a school like that and they think, for the next 3 years, I'm going to work. And after that, I'm going to be famous. I'm going to be like Martin Garrix. I'm going to be like Kensington. And they have their degree after 3 years and they fall down. And they end up giving lessons at my musical academy because they need fucking money.
What's that saying again? Those who can't teach? Those who cannot teach. Basically, the ones that are not good enough to make it as an artist start teaching.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
that
that's
goes for
kind of the
many other
thing.
professions as
So
well.
please see it as an external. It's always good to learn. I'm not saying school is bad. It's always fucking good to learn, but see it as an extra. Be in the studio every fucking day and think about life and career on your own, because that will make a difference. Not someone who tells you how to do something that can make it better, of course, but you don't need it. I've never been to a school. I've never been to regular school.
Yeah, that's
and I'm
amazing.
And now it's funny when I see my teacher of fucking 15 years ago, he wants to make a picture with me. That's pretty funny, and they always thought I was the bad kid who would never make it. And I was. So, of course, go to school, kids. It's super important. But if you really, really know what you're doing, know what route you want to take, you don't need fucking school. School is there to keep everyone in control and follow this trail or rail for other people. I've never had English. I can talk English. If you want to learn something, you will learn. Go watch movies without subtitles. You will be there in 1 year. So that's the same with music. You want to make music? Make fucking music. I started
what I've been
with
telling tons of people, man.
Yeah.
If you've got a laptop, if you've got a headphone, and if you got an internet connection, that's all you need.
Yeah.
And
So it's fine. And a lot of kids are watching this right now and they think, I want to go to the Herman Brood Academy or other institute, how do you call it, academies. Go. It's good. But remember, you're doing it and not your teacher or your...
It can be a step up, but I think, and that goes for any sort of education, and you are like the prime example of being self-taught.
Yeah, kind of.
That there is no school in the world that can teach you how to be motivated, that can teach you the discipline, that can tell you how to express yourself.
Yep.
I mean, it's called self-expression,
Yeah.
not by the standards of this professor expression.
No, dude, I did everything on my own. The way how I express myself on Instagram, what I did with girls in the past, with the booty monster thing, everything I did on my own. The only thing I just remember, what's good, what is super nice about going to a school is social part. What?
Girls?
No, yeah. go to clubs then. You will find a lot of girls or Tinder. No, but the social part, meeting other DJs and talk about shit, because that shit is important. I didn't even really had that as well, so it's even possible. But that's a good thing. Meeting other guys who want to reach you, who want to reach the same goal. So that's why school maybe is super cool. But it can
I think there's another point that a lot of people have been missing, and that for you is nothing more than natural, because you grew up in a musical family.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to get into detail about that one, because, well, pretty much everything that could be said and done about that one has been on
fucking every
multiple
vlog
television formats, vlogs, and everything. But you've always been surrounded by music, all types of music.
Everything.
Old
Yeah,
music, new music, rock music, pop music, man. You know, the weirdest age in humanity ever, called the 80s.
Fucking hate it.
Oh, man, the fashion?
Yeah, I love the fashion, though. I love the fashion.
Yeah, but it's so wrong at school again.
Yeah, that's why.
It's getting back into fashion, by the way. But I sincerely hope, dear humanity, don't bring shoulder pads back. Just leave that in the 80s. But it's very important to fill up your hard drive. I've noticed a lot of kids right now that wanted to sound like, let's, for example, take Chami.
Mm-hmm.
You know Chami? When he started dropping his songs, that was something fresh, different, and new. But once you start looking into him and discover where he got his inspiration from, that comes back from funk and from 70s music and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So he has this entire library in his head with, ideas and concepts. But kids nowadays only listen to Chami and want to sound like Chami, and then they figure out they can't. That is because you don't have that, the complete hard drive. If you're making a song, you can dig into your... you can literally translate energy of rock music into house.
That was immortal. I was listening to Limp Bizkit and like Break Your Fucking Face Tonight and like that kind of stuff, and a lot of other songs. And then I came up like with what is uniting people, like feeling immortal at the night you were having the best time of your life. And that's like Immortal is a fucking rock song, but in an EDM-ish way. So that's kind of it.
Hey, we've got a couple of giveaways, and I think we're cutting your time pretty close.
Yeah, I have to go in a bit.
You have
Studio
to go
time.
in a bit. So, you know what? We can give away 4 weekenders, right? Of dance fairs.
Yeah.
Oh, dance fair.
No,
yeah.
let's do
let's
50. No, just
okay.
just
What can we give away? This table.
To Hugo Oostendorp, and I think the first question was a very good one. Which one was that? I don't know. You know.
It was about
All right. So we had like 3 questions, and all 3
of them, like the first 2.
Yeah.
I think they have the best questions of the night.
All right.
Or
so we need
like let's go into like against Facebook politics. If they share the video, we choose some guys to give away the tickets. Will it stay on the Facebook page?
Yep.
I would say if you share this video, tomorrow we'll give away like how many tickets you want.
Okay, we'll give away. No, then we'll give away 3 times.
There's a
2
pretty hefty
day
debate
tickets.
going on here
Yeah.
right now.
3 times 2 day tickets.
Yeah, so 6 tickets in total, 3 times 2 tickets. If you share this video, the bosses from Dancefair, they will choose tomorrow. Is that a good idea? Are they like, let's see how much they share, and otherwise they give to the...
I'm definitely going to share that video.
Yeah, like the video is getting restricted right now by Facebook.
Yeah, let's screw Facebook over for once.
Yeah.
But that's just one more thing.
I need a bucket. I need to piss.
You need a bucket? All right.
No, I will wait. Sorry.
There's a bottle here. So we've been talking a lot about this song Immortal.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good closing question. Let's get philosophical for the last one.
All right.
Would you like to be immortal?
Fuck no. No.
Why?
Think of it. I'm super scared of dying. I don't want to die, but because of I'm scared I didn't do all the things I wanted to do, but I'm happy there is an end. And I think life is about beginning and an end. I would be fucking lazy if there's no end, right?
True.
I work this hard because I know there is an end. So the immortal is not like literally taken like I want to be immortal. The immortal is like, let's feel immortal and live forever on this party mode when we're partying, and party like we're immortal. But be immortal? Nah.
No, you pass for that.
Yeah.
And if somebody, you know, if something comes out of some, you know, some celestial being came down, you know, took an Uber down, and said to you, hey, Tony, I got this deal, man. You get to be 1,000 years. Would you do it?
That depends on how my
let's say your body stays like it's now. You know, everything functioning.
I will take 1,000 years. No. Even then, it will make. I have this thought of creating a family, having kids, enjoy. I would see so many people die in my life. Like you will see your parents die, and then like. Then if you get 1,000, you will see so many people. You will have to lose a lot of people that you will love.
True.
So no, let's stay how it is. It's fine. This is super deep.
It is super deep.
Super fucking deep. No, I don't like.
No, it's because yeah, one of my favorite. I'm sort of this astrophysicist loving guy, so you know.
But okay,
I'm
quick
about
for the same. Would you be? Did you thought about that? What I just said. You want to be 1,000 years?
Oh fuck yeah. Oh, I would have a whole lot of fun in here. I mean, if you can die, come on, have a little extra fun.
Yeah, like if you say you want to double up, I would say yeah, but not 1,000 years, man. That's a lot.
Yeah, but then again, it only makes sense if you're gonna be all political. You know, if you had like this non-existent King Arthur type of ruler that would live to be 1,000, yeah, perhaps we would need that on the planet. But then again, 1,000 years of me, I usually get tired of myself after an hour or so.
Life is stressful, man. Life can be super stressful. Like,
but let's close it on a happy ending.
I'm super happy.
Yeah, no, that's the last question. Besides music,
Yeah.
and everything that comes with it, and vlogging,
Yeah.
what's something that makes you happy? What's your happy point? If you think about that, you're like instantly fucking happy. What always cheers you up?
I don't know if you can see it, but there's a fishing rod on my finger, and there's a fish. I like to fish, and that makes me happy. Yeah. Being one with nature.
Do you kiss the fish?
Fuck no.
You don't go all Rex hunt?
Nah. I just want to be at the water or in my boat, being one with nature, me, water, fish, and I feel like thousands of years ago and just hunt. That makes me happy.
So you're all right.
That's my
fishing.
Opposite thing of my crazy life, like fishing and yeah.
So the next time we do this, we need to get like super fucked up on a fishing trip.
Dude, that's fun. That's seriously fun. Like no,
I already feel sorry for the camera guy that has to survive the whole wobbly bit.
No, and eat good food and having sex with a girl I like and being with my family. That all makes me super fucking happy. So yeah.
All right. Well, you look super fucking happy to me.
I am.
Well, a lot of people have been asking also a lot of questions about when your releases will be, and if they want to know, where can they find you online?
Oh, I thought where I live. Yeah, it's Tony Jr. Yeah, just type in Tony Jr. I got some verified accounts, so I'll probably at the top. It's like Instagram, Tony Jr. official, Facebook. I don't know.
And be sure to follow his vlog, because that will give you all the insights and especially all the nasty little details you never wanted to know.
Yeah. No, but yeah, everything's Tony Jr. So.
All right. Well, I'll drink one to you. Have a safe trip back, and thanks
for
coming.
having me.
And I'll see you at Dancefair.
Yeah, see you at Dancefair.
I want to see all of you at Dancefair as well. And don't forget to share the Facebook video. If
share
you
the video. Tomorrow we pick the winners.
Yeah, and just because we're transparent and honest, and I don't think they like me saying this, but Dancefair will announce who actually won. Yeah, we're not that kind of dickish operation that tells people like, yeah, somebody won. Uh-huh. All right, cool. So if you share the Facebook video, we are going to give away 3 times 2 tickets. So you and a friend, girlfriend, whatever.
I'm going to give you a hand because I really need to piss. Thank you, guys. See you guys
Bye-bye.
next time at Dancefair.